It is 12 noon. Welcome back. This is Three Man Front on this Wednesday. Coming up later this hour, Trey Wallace from Outkick, his weekly guest appearance with us. We'll talk to him about a big story he broke over the weekend about Mac Rhodes, who's the chairperson for the college football playoff committee.
Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of that, last night, the Ohio State Buckeyes still number one in the new rankings, followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Bama comes in at 4. So Bama would get a first-round bye. According to the rankings from last night, Alabama would play the winner of South Florida and Georgia. And that would be at one of the bowl sites, being a quarterfinal game. The first-round games would be played on campus. Those games would include South Florida at Georgia, Notre Dame at Oregon, Miami at Texas Tech, and Texas at Ole Miss. Wouldn't that be something? Arch goes to Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah.
There's a lot of storylines there.
There's a lot of storylines there.
Yeah.
Alabama, South Florida, I don't know if I need to see that one again, but we probably wouldn't see that one again.
I don't think so either, but yeah, that would I'm like you. That's just one I don't
need to see it again.
No.
Saw it at Bryant-Denny, saw it at Raymond James. That's good. We're good.
Yeah.
See, I wonder too, like a people, and I'm sure outside the SEC, the answer would be a resounding yes. But I almost feel that same way against Georgia. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I every time Alabama and Georgia play, it's fantastic. But
you want to play them again?
Well, it's just almost like the Clemson thing from where it's like every single year you got Alabama. It's like, all right, that's great, but maybe let's see something else.
I want to see Alabama and Ole Miss, and I want to see Alabama and Texas A&M. However we make that work.
Yeah,
I agree. I'd also like to see Georgia, Texas. Like, let me see Texas A&M play the toughest teams in the conference, and they might win, but it'd be fun to see.
So according to the rankings last night, the first team out is Oklahoma. The second team out would be BYU. It's interesting because Alabama's resume did take a hit last night because Eli Drinkwitz and Mizzou are no longer ranked. So Bama now only has 3 wins against ranked opponents. That would be number 5 Georgia, number 14 Vandy, and number 23 Tennessee. Mizzou, South Carolina, LSU, Wisconsin, and Louisiana Monroe not ranked.
But given what Mac Rhodes said, I think that they understand because he pointed out Missouri's quarterback play, and they were a different Missouri team when Alabama beat them at home. If we're basing it off of things that he said about other teams.
Yes.
5 of the top 10 teams in this week's college football playoff rankings are from the Southeastern Conference. This is the most in the top 10 from a certain conference since the rankings began in 2014.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, we don't need 4 automatic qualifiers. No, Big Ten, go on your merry way. We're just good. Wait, what? Why the change in tune? No, we're going to be just fine.
And even beyond that, you've got 7 of the top 14.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
In each year following the inaugural college football playoff in 2014, the eventual national champion has been ranked in the top 3 in the second college football playoff rankings. So with that being said, your national champion is either going to be Ohio State, Indiana, or Texas A&M. Sorry. No Alabama, no Georgia.
What would be easier to stomach? Indiana?
Save money. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those like...
It'd be like Coastal Carolina winning it in baseball several years ago.
Yeah, it'd be hard for you not to say, it's like if the Lions win the Super Bowl. I think most people would go, okay, that's pretty cool. Good for them. It's been a long time coming. Ohio State, can't stand Ohio State.
Bama, though, when you take a look at the top 12 teams in the college football playoff, Bama has the best strength of schedule of anybody. They come in at number 6. Followed number 5 spot is Georgia. They have the 11th toughest schedule. Texas has ranked number 10. They have the 13th toughest schedule.
What's fun to think about with the playoff coming up, I don't think Alabama is the best team in the country by any means. I couldn't, but I think that Alabama could absolutely beat any of those teams in the conversation. But could be beaten by any of those teams in the conversation.
I think, in my opinion, any of the top 5 teams, they could all beat each other. They could also all lose to
top 5. Sorry, specify before somebody texts in.
Because I would put Georgia in that group as well.
And we mentioned yesterday, with all the analytics and the numbers that you see, if Alabama beats Oklahoma, they have a 97% chance of making the college football playoff. So that doesn't mean, whatever happens at Auburn happens. If Alabama gets to the SEC championship game and loses, Bama is still in the college football playoff. And for a season when you came in saying that Kalen DeBoer needed to get to the college football playoff this year, you would check that box. Now, kind of limping into the college football playoff, that's a completely different story. But keep in mind, Ohio State got embarrassed by Michigan last year in the final game of the regular season, and then it ended up winning the national championship. So
Just win this weekend and you're good.
yeah, you beat Oklahoma, and all of a sudden it's a completely different postseason. If you lose to Oklahoma, that game at Auburn is always going to be tough and it's going to be tight. You lose to Oklahoma, and then you go to the Iron Bowl, man, you want to talk about, woo.
I said it the other day. I think you lose to Auburn. If you lose to Oklahoma this weekend, man, this is such a tough spot to be in.
All right, so let's play this out. If that happens, they're 9-3 at that point.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they go.
I don't either.
I don't see a case. I mean, because once again, just like last year, all the goodwill you had of beating Georgia went out the window when you decided to go to Nashville and then go to Oklahoma and do what you did at the end of the year. I mean, it was just too much to overcome. Now, losing to Oklahoma is not, I mean, Oklahoma's a top 15 team.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
But the problem is they're going to bring up your resume, and 2 of your 3 losses were to unranked teams.
Bingo.
I think there's maybe one team in the country that could get in at
And possibly
9-3.
losing records with both of those teams.
Who would that be?
Texas.
Yeah.
I think that is the only team in the country that could go 9-3 and find a way in, and that
There's-
would mean you would have to beat Texas A&M that final game of the season.
They're still getting so much love because of a close game that they played in the very beginning of the season to Ohio State on the road.
I mean, do we think Florida, pull up Florida's rest of their schedule, do we think Florida's going to win another game?
Florida beat Florida State,
Yeah, I'd
You
give
think?
them. Oh God.
maybe. But, yeah, you're right. The way they played last week, no. They won't.
My point being, if
They're
Florida
not
does
beating
not,
Ole Miss.
if Florida does not win another game,
I doubt they beat
They're going to
Tennessee.
be 3-9 or 4-8. 3-9?
Florida State's their best bet at home. They'll show up for that game.
but my point is, they don't win another game, then they beat Texas.
Oh, that's going to be one of the worst losses that
Yeah.
anybody will have.
Somebody wants to point to the Alabama loss to Florida State. Florida's loss on the road, just like Alabama did at Doak Camel, they lost in the swamp.
But that win over Vanderbilt, that looks really, really good on your resume right now
It does.
And I think the committee again.
for Alabama.
I think if you're, comparing those two, right, you would give more leniency maybe to Alabama first game with a lot of new players on the road as opposed to a Texas team that you'd had a few games under your belt before you lost that Florida game.
But Texas beating Georgia at Georgia would be a huge feather.
Now you're just talking silly.
Well, no, I know I'm talking silly because I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't
No, because
either.
Billy Napier's delivering the goods on Texas.
But as of this moment, from a Southeastern Conference perspective, Texas A&M has a 99% chance of making the college football playoff. Bama is at 96%, Georgia at 92%, Ole Miss 81%, Texas 45%. It's interesting because South Florida almost has as better odds of making the college football playoff as Texas does. They're at 40%. Oklahoma is at 33%, Vandy's at 24%. So those are the only SEC teams that currently register at least maybe 24% or higher of potential of making the college football playoff.
Sark better be careful, man. He's going to start getting that James Franklin label. He's losing these big games, like the one he's
But
going
he's
to
going
lose
to the
on
NFL
Saturday.
anyway.
That's true.
He's moving on. He's going to the Titans.
Secrets. Sarkrets.
Sarkis.
You want to hear a Sarkret?
He's got a few of those, I'm sure.
You ever watch people while they're using the restroom?
Oh my goodness,
Sarkret does.
man. We're
I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
Oh, that'll get you put on a list, Coach. And maybe your nose bloodied
And a hotkey.
and a high key.
Oh my goodness.
You might get a taker. Who knows?
maybe, perhaps.
I mean, we all have our price, am I right?
Okay.
No, not all of us. No.
Sorry,
No,
just,
you have a different price.
just me.
We have a very special announcement coming up very soon about Conrad and the holidays.
I can't wait. Yep.
And we're going to hand it over to the listeners.
Yeah.
The listeners are going to get an opportunity to kind of dictate what potentially is going to happen during a potential challenge for Conrad.
Right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Very soon.
It's funny. I'm watching now the coaching speculation. We were talking about Brian Daboll. You saw the the picture that they took of him, right?
Yes, there's a picture of him yesterday in New York wearing a Penn State hoodie.
Do you think he was doing that, just advertising his services?
No, Dayball strikes me as that's the first thing that he found to put on.
Oh, yeah, he did the Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah.
Put it
I
on.
was going to say got it out of the drawer, but that didn't probably come out of the drawer. That was on the back of a chair.
Would Penn State hire a Canadian football coach?
Oh, I think they would.
You think so?
I think at this point they would hire a Russian.
So Golish.
Ooh.
Does a Russian or a Canadian get a job first?
Who are we on better terms with now?
That's the question.
I don't know. Those Canadians, they're pretty fired up during the World Series.
Yeah, and during the hockey. I forgot about that.
We showed them that it is America's pastime, by the way.
That's right.
We took care of business.
I have not had Canadian bacon since.
Kalen DeBoer's best friend won the World Series. Dave Roberts.
Yep.
Did you like seeing old Dave Roberts on the sideline wearing all the Alabama gear Saturday night?
Sure. It was nice. Sure.
If that was Aaron Boone, would that have made you excited?
No. Because that would mean no. Not unless Brian Cashman was there and they were going to do a firing ceremony at halftime.
Hmm. Did you catch Schmaction last night? No?
No.
Very disappointing.
I was checking my phone. I didn't watch it. Ben Finley threw for a lot of yards.
Kent State, they beat Akron in overtime, 42-35. Meanwhile, in Kalamazoo, a major shout out. You know who the head coach is at Western Michigan, don't you?
Lance Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Played at the University of Alabama.
That's right.
He went to
forgot about
Citronelle High School down in Mobile County.
Old Citronelle.
His dad is in the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. He played football at the University of Alabama for Bear Bryant, and Lance was a receiver at the University of Alabama. He was a walk-on, then got a scholarship, and he was a special teams captain
I had forgotten that he was at Western Michigan.
at the University of Alabama. And he is the head coach of the Western Michigan Broncos, and they won last night 17-13. They're now 5-1 in the MAC.
It's where champions are made, Pat.
That's right.
That's what the commercials say.
Why not?
That's what all those commercials say.
Are you talking about Kalamazoo? Or are you talking about
No,
Tuscaloosa?
I was talking about the Alabama commercials.
You're talking about the MAC.
No. Well,
That's where Nick Saban was made.
that's right. It is where champions were made. You're right. Good pull there.
Jason Candle's been waiting on that opportunity now for about 12 years. He's the next
Yeah.
greatest.
We have a triple header tonight in the MAC. Triple header. And they all begin at 6 o'clock tonight on 3 different networks. CBS Sports Network will have Buffalo, Central Michigan, Northern Illinois, and UMass. How many people do you think will be at that UMass game tonight in Amherst?
It's going to be chilly.
Under 5,000.
Under 5.
5
I
people.
would have got under 5 people.
Just 5.
UMass is 0-9, 0-5 in the MAC. And Northern Illinois is only a 10.5-point favorite.
Is that your lock of the century, Pat?
No, it is not. No.
Okay.
And then Coach Candle, his team, they're playing at 6 against Miami of Ohio.
Glass Bowl?
This will be a interesting game. Both teams 5-4, and Toledo's only a 3.5-point favorite.
Is it in the Glass Bowl? The toughest place to play?
No,
Oh.
it's at Miami of Ohio.
Chuck Martin.
Do you want me to give you a little?
The house that Big Ben built.
You want me to give you a little nugget on tonight's action?
Yeah.
Would you like that?
Yeah.
Home underdogs of 10 or more points on Tuesday and Wednesday night games have gone over the total. They are 15-4-1
Whoa.
since 2016.
And which game was that with the 10.5?
That is.
You said the total, though, right?
Yes, has gone over.
But it was what? Teams that were 10 or more point underdogs, they have gone over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So Massachusetts is
Might be worth a little something on UMass. Oh, God.
No, weather's not
0-9
going to be that
UMass.
bad in Ohio tonight. No, Amherst.
Amherst is going to be 35 degrees.
Football weather.
Yes. So yeah, triple header tonight.
Wasn't I just there? I think it was.
You weren't too far away
Yeah.
since you stayed in Springfield.
Oh my goodness! If you would see, we have our sideline and our for our Friday night high school coverage here. So we're at the hotel, and it's the Saturday morning. So I'm watching the little Sports Blitz wrap up from the Friday night, and they had their high school show. We are so fortunate down here. Every highlight was like the kids that you saw Arch Manning playing against in high school. Bunch of Conrad Landrums and Pats running around.
Yeah, that's not too surprising.
Mm-mm.
We've got it good down here. There's no doubt about it.
Not a whole lot of blue chips up there.
When we come back on three-man front, one of the potential names for a couple of openings in the Southeastern Conference may be staying put with a new contract. We'll tell you who it is next on three-man front.
SWAT 19, a three-man front here on this Wednesday. Trey Wallace, one of our favorite guests, going to join us at 12:30. What Trey is hearing, we'll talk college football this weekend, college football playoff rankings, but also buzz because Trey hears a lot. And maybe some nuggets that he's going to have like he did last week and the week before about what he's hearing about possible head coaches at different places, especially in the SEC.
There has been one name that you have heard for the frequency of a couple of jobs in the Southeastern Conference. And according to On3, this head coach is potentially currently with the school that he is currently employed, is working on a contract extension. That coach is Jeff Brom at Louisville. According to On3, a contract extension to keep former quarterback and head coach Jeff Brom with the Cardinals. They are continuing these conversations as they speak. Brom is 26-10 in 3 seasons at Louisville, and he's been attached to multiple jobs, including Penn State and Florida. I have not heard his name for the Auburn job. I've seen it a couple times on an LSU hot board, but it's been Penn State and Florida for the most part for Jeff Brom. But according to the On3 website, Pete Nakos is reporting that Louisville is working on a contract extension. So seems like you could probably take Jeff Brom off of any potential hot board.
It's funny. His name gets mentioned. He's done a good job at Louisville, but this is fresh off of losing to a Cal team.
Mm-hmm.
God bless America.
Yes.
You're a college football coach. Yeah, really disappointing loss. Game that we were favored in. Oh, how are you taking it? Well, it's great. I just signed a contract extension, got a raise. Huh. Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm checking Vegas odds. Nothing has changed on that front. Coaching searches.
Nothing.
No.
Let's go back to the text line, brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trussell, 205-834-9450.
I don't trust those ratings. People are using other people's accounts or watching somewhere else. Your TV ratings. Numbers that you gave us. Not yours, but the ones that you reported. That's all we had to go on.
So I am curious what people are doing. I mean, this is now a prolonged situation.
I've had to get creative.
I mean, there's been 2 Monday Night Football games that have been lost to 10 million viewers across the country. You've now lost 2 college football weekends. YouTube is now giving folks, $20 back on your bill? Isn't that the deal now? You got to go in and click something I think I read. You get $20 off
That is correct.
Off your next month's bill.
Yep.
Did you not know that?
No, I'm here to claim the discount or I'm sorry.
Yeah, just log into
Better
your
than
account.
nothing.
I mean, you have to go through an act of Congress, not an act of Congress, but you have to. It's not like they're just going to just openly give it to you. That's what DirecTV did. DirecTV gave
They
me
just applied it to my account, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what they did with me and Conrad a couple years ago. So I'm just curious what SEC fans are doing. I mean, I guess you can use your ESPN app if you have that. It's just funny how everybody wanted to cut the cord, with cable. But then all these subscriptions that you have to be able to watch everything when you go through all this negotiations between these companies.
And I'd be interested to hear from people last weekend because I know when I was at the Alabama game, I was talking to some people there in the press box, and people brought up last week that I think it was Sling. They had some like $6 package you could buy for Saturday.
For like a day?
Yeah, and you could watch all the college football on Saturday for $6. But I was told that last week Sling was having connection issues, and so people that paid the $6 weren't able to watch all of the college football games that they had paid for.
How much is the ESPN Unlimited?
$30
Okay.
a month.
So that would not affect, because I have the ESPN app, but if it's linked to your YouTube account, then you have to have your service provider that you give to them that it's linked to. And then, obviously, because of what's going on, this game cannot currently be viewed in your area. So I would have to pay the $30.
Correct. Well, and that's why a lot of people are upset because they think that ESPN is intentionally doing this to force people to subscribe to their new service because that service has only been around for a couple months now. Yep.
No, I'm having to leave my home to just go up the street, but I have to leave my house to go and watch games. Whatever.
Yeah, it's affecting a lot of people. I can't believe it's gone on this long. I don't remember one of these disputes ever lasting more than a week, 10 days.
Yeah, this is the longest. You've never missed 2 Monday Night Football games, ever.
I know the game was kind of a stinker on Monday, but I'm sure it did great viewership numbers because it's the Packers and the Eagles.
ESPN is losing over $30 million a week because they're having to refund advertisers. Because all of a sudden, advertisers, there's 10 million people that you were selling advertising to that are no longer there. So they're losing 30 million a week.
Oh, Collins from Pell City. He's wondering what we're going to do for the Thanksgiving contest. And he says a Little Debbie Christmas tree cake eating contest for Conrad? Question mark.
That's actually maybe not super far off from
Do
something
you like
that was
Little
discussed.
Debbie Christmas tree cakes? Do
No.
you like them?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Do you like anything Little Debbie?
Not really.
You're not into the, I don't know, would that be the
What, zingers and
Yeah.
whatever the other
Ho-hos.
No. Ho-hos, yeah, no.
Ho-hos is hostess.
Is that what Twinkie is as well?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't like those either.
Swiss cake rolls.
Not a fan.
Has
Devil
Reese's come out with
creams.
are the trees out already? The Reese's peanut butter cup trees?
Yeah, they're out, but
Those would kill me.
the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes are out as well.
Yeah. I wonder which one's better for you.
I'm sure they're both awful for you.
They're both organic, right?
Sugar free.
Sure, I'm sure they are. But yeah, that's not a bad guess.
Corey says, I used my wife's email to sign up for Fubo for 5 days free. I previously used all of my emails. Got the Sling Weekend plan this past weekend. Guess I'm going to create more burner emails now. Good for you, Corey.
Yeah, that's smart.
Get after it.
I did that with YouTube TV one year when I was right out of college. They get you. I think at that time they were doing like a 3-month free trial. So I made 4 emails in a year. I had it for free for a year.
I just loved it because I was able to use Connor and Dylan's college email accounts
That's how you got Sunday Ticket, right?
to get all these discounts for like Sunday Ticket and
Yep.
a bunch of my subscriptions to the Dublin Times.
I've not verified this, but we get useful information from our listeners all the time. So, Conrad, you might have to verify this. But this listener texts in, you can download an app in the App Store called iWeb TV. Watch anything for free, but you have to have Roku TV, Fire Stick, or Apple TV to use it. It has over 100 channels and all the sports channels.
Oh, I'm guessing it's one of those things you can watch it on your phone, and then you can do the whatever it's
Screen
called.
mirroring, or
Where you project your phone screen on the TV and you can watch it that way.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Because I've got Apple TV and I got the Fire Stick.
There you go.
Justin had an idea, but I'm not going to repeat it for you.
Oh, for Conrad?
Yeah.
I do think that's the name of one of the treats, though.
Oh, is it? I wasn't sure. I'm not into the sweets.
Ding Dong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hostess.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
I thought the guy was being funny.
No, that's the actual. They
No,
just all
that's-
have funny names.
Yeah. It's again, my father was in the baking industry for
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
I mean,
right.
It's,
There's some fun names. Yep.
Yeah, because
same
Justin just asked, what about a ding dong eating contest for
Yeah.
Conrad?
I'll be honest. I've had the Christmas tree cakes. I've had those before. I've had like the cosmic brownie things. I've had those before. I've had oatmeal cream pies, but those are really the only ones that I've had.
Ding Dong's from the same company that does Twinkies.
Is it just like a chocolate Twinkie, basically?
No, it's it's a little chocolate. It's a devil cream small cupcake covered in chocolate, but it's got white filling inside.
Did the
gotcha.
bakery that your father ran, did it manufacture all those two in the same place?
At one time, he did. The one here in Birmingham that he ran, they did not have a cake division. They just did bread.
I bet y'all were good on snow days.
Listen,
Your
no,
dad just bring the bread truck home?
well, no, listen, this is what made it, because I always took my lunch to school when I was in elementary school.
By the way, it doesn't surprise me, Pat.
So my dad would go and they would get, when we were in Missouri, they had a cake division, and which ultimately ended up being Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and all that stuff. Anyway, I would get that directly off the trucks, and Dad would bring them home, and we would freeze them in the freezer,
Ah,
and that's what I would take for my dessert
Yeah.
every day. I would have some type of,
have something different every day.
every day. And it was
Would the kids try to trade?
absolutely.
I bet they would.
Absolutely. And I'd sometimes take an extra, just to say, hey. Oh, yeah. That was envy of the lunchroom in elementary school.
Come on, guys. What about the good old honey bun?
Okay, those are good.
Again,
I would
I'm
not eat it.
Iced honey bun or just a regular honey bun?
I know a guy that used to throw them on the grill.
Oh, wow.
He put some grill marks on both sides of the honey bun.
Interesting.
Honey buns are good.
He said it was awesome.
I would not do an eating challenge of honey buns. I might die.
All right, Trey Wallace joins us next from Outkick. This is three-man front on Jocks.
12:35, 3 minutes in front of this Wednesday. A lot going on. We got coaches searches going on. We got big football games coming up this weekend. Some could determine college football playoff seeding, participation for some teams. This could be an elimination weekend. Buddy Trey Wallace is going to join us momentarily from Fox and Outkick. Of course, we went over and discussed the story of Mac Rhodes, who you saw prominently last night in the college football playoff rankings as committee chair, but a run-in he had on the sideline with one Michael Trigg of Baylor. And Trey's going to join us, but Trey has been notorious for giving us not only nuggets, but we have usually breaking news that happens while he's on the show, whether it's the Pope. There was like 3 other things that have happened. While
he is the Nick Castellanos of
he's
this
the
radio
Nick
show.
Castellanos of our guests.
Yeah.
And he joins us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. Hey, Trey.
Hey, guys. I don't know. Can we come up with something breaking while we're on?
Come on. Give us something.
Come on, give us some nuggets.
Jeff Brom staying at Louisville.
Well,
okay.
Right.
Well, I guess we'll
I know. You gotta take it. I mean, he's been linked to Penn State, and he'd be Florida's backup plan if Kiffin decides to stay at Ole Miss. So they're gonna give him some money.
That James Franklin contract paper look like in Blacksburg now? Is it like faded? Is it have coffee stains on it? What does that look like?
Think they've ran that bad boy through the copy machine about 8 times trying to see if it's going to come through or not, or maybe faxed it over 8 times, and he's not responding yet because you still got other schools that are interested. So
interesting.
It's the games that are played, man. Like this is Christmas for agents and coaches and all that good stuff. Like they are getting raises, extensions, some are getting brand new jobs. I mean, it's that time of year, and then especially like with a Franklin situation, like it's pretty smart from his side to put out, through Virginia Tech folks. Yeah, he's interested in that job. He might have a contract too. Oh, wait a minute. Other schools are now trying to jump in on it. So it's just how the game is being played. And there's 3 agents. It's Clint Dowdle, it's Jimmy Sexton, it's Trace Armstrong. They're all playing chess. They're putting the pieces all over the board and see where they work out.
Okay, so before we continue this conversation, I wanted to go back to something that you broke, and it's pretty cool because you were texting with me over the weekend, and it's crazy to think that last week at this time, if you'll want to take our listeners back, when you were doing this weekly hit with us, you were knee-deep in a story that you ended up breaking about the college football chairperson. Kind of take us there and tell us how it all came about. And for those that have not read your story yet about Mac Rhodes.
Yeah, so you can go to outkick.com or you can just Google search Mac Rhodes. It'll pop up. Baylor Athletic Director, CFP Chair. So when we were doing the hit last week, the radio hit, by the way, don't want folks to go crazy. We weren't doing any kind of other hits. When I was doing the radio hit with you guys last week, I was actually quietly in Waco, Texas, without anybody really knowing about it, besides my boss, working on a story. And that was my 3rd trip to Waco in a span of 2.5 weeks. So it comes out, we report that Baylor Athletic Director, CFP Chair Mac Rhodes had an incident with a player along the sideline, Michael Trigg, tight end. And the incident happened right when the ball was being kicked off. Like Arizona State had the ball on the tee, kicking off to Baylor, who was returning, in the AD Mac Rhodes. I'll just throw out allegedly. Went up to Michael Trigg, grabbed him by the pads and the jersey and used an expletive to ask why he was wearing a yellow long sleeve undershirt. And by the way, the player was wearing it because he was trying to hide a shoulder brace that he was wearing. Whatever. So first off, he puts his hands on the player while the game has started, which is the kind of the whole weird thing. I try to wrap my head around that a little bit. I've seen the video of it. And so that happens. So they don't go to an assistant coach. They don't go to the head coach. He's doing this right when the ball's being kicked off. And then after the game, like it was hard to calm down Michael Trigg during that whole whole entire game. By the way, Arizona State won on a last-second field goal, so just kind of made it worse. According to our reporting and our sources, Mack Rhoades, the CFP chair, went up to an assistant coach. I'm not going to name the assistant coach. I know another outlet has named the assistant, but that's just not what I'm doing. Went up to the assistant coach, grabbed him by the wrist, and then grabbed him by the shoulder and neck area, pulled him in very, very close in front of this coach's 75-year-old mother, wife, along with athletic department officials. And I can't say the words on the air, but called him an old bleeping loser coach. And at the same time started berating him about the Michael Trigg situation. So you had an AD get into it with the player while the game was starting. You had an AD and the CFP chair get into it with an assistant coach after the game was over. And this happened at the end of September. And I've been tipped off about it around that time. And just for context, and I'll wrap it up real quick, but Baylor is an institution, a private college. So you cannot FOIA any of this stuff. You cannot get public records. You can't go to the police department to get a video. You can't get stadium footage, all that stuff. So that's why I took a couple trips to Waco, Texas, to get to the bottom of this story. And so, yeah, we broke that. Last night he was on the college football rankings show. ESPN did not ask him, and it just so happens that the CFP teleconference did not go to me and about 4 other national reporters last night to ask a little questions. I'm not going to look. I can't say it was on purpose because you guys know how it is. There's about 150 reporters in there. But when they went to an outlet called touchdownsandpageants.com, I was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to me or the Athletic or anybody else. So it's been fascinating, guys. This whole story has been. I was shocked when I first heard about it. And I'll just leave it at this. We're not done yet. I would look for some more movement right when the final regular season game ends with Baylor.
Okay, but that was going to be my follow-up question. You're there. They're 5-4. They got more losses coming, just looking at their record.
Yeah.
So how soon before that job opens up? End of season?
See, I want to say yeah to that, but Dave Arena is such a good guy, such a great defensive mind. And he was not pleased with that situation either. He let his feelings known to Mack Rhoades. I know he came out on Monday and said, yeah, I've got an open relationship with Mack Rhoades and the good. But then he also, when he was asked about the incident, involving Mack, said, that's an HR deal. It's above my pay grade. And I'm like, oh, so you admitted it's an HR deal. Like they just can't get out of their own way. They're confirming all of our reporting. And by the way, I want to make it clear too, that readers that go out there and read the story, we gave a detailed account to Baylor of what we were asking about, the incidents that happened, and they did not deny any of that in their statement. They said appropriate actions were taken. Mack Rhoades apologized for I'm paraphrasing, but letting his emotions get to him and all that stuff. So, they didn't deny anything, which probably wasn't the smartest move because I think there's going to be something more that happens right when the season ends. And I think you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. I don't think it has anything to do with firing the head coach. Mack Rhoades could end up having to talk, and that might be under a deposition. So.
Well, and then the question was, I saw where the college football playoff, they actually released a statement, did they not, to you guys at Outkick about Mack Rhoades was still the chairperson of the college football playoff?
A statement, no, but they did tell us that he was still the CFP chair moving forward. So a part of that conversation was off the record. So, but they did confirm he was the CFP chair moving forward. Those are the exact words. Now, is he the CFP chair after Baylor's final regular season game of the year? I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate, but it gets kind of interesting over the next couple of weeks. So it's just a dumb situation that happened. He should not have done it. And if they wanted to deny it, guys, you guys know how this thing works. They come out and deny it, say it didn't happen. But the problem is there's video, there's HR complaints, and it just so happened that my sister company, Fox, was broadcasting the game that day. So made it pretty easy.
Trey, I want to put you on the spot. Do you have time to hold through a break? We
Yeah.
got more we want to get to.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Trey Wallace, as we continue here on Three Man Front.
$12:48 back on Jocks. Trey Wallace from Outkick continues our conversation. Appreciate you hanging over, Trey. Just we wanted to touch on some other things with you before we let you go. In regards to the coaching front, let's start with LSU. Now we've got a lawsuit by Brian Kelly going up against the LSU Board of Supervisors. What are you hearing? Actually, not legalities. I'm talking about coaching front. What are the names that we should be paying attention to for the LSU job?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to try to take a swing at Lane Kiffin here. In my opinion, I think if Lane's going to make a choice on potentially leaving Ole Miss, I think it's going to do more so with Florida than LSU. That's just my opinion in talking with some folks out there. I think that, I think I mentioned to you guys last week that there was going to be potentially a sitting head coach at a big school that looks around for a new stop. I keep hearing Lincoln Riley, guys. And I'm not sitting here, don't go crazy on social media, folks, and I'm reporting Lincoln Riley to LSU. But I am saying that his name is being brought up a lot, and there's no reason he doesn't need any more money at USC right now. He doesn't need any more security with that job. and potentially maybe that's a move that you look at. I'm not saying it would be LSU, but is there another job that might be out there? We'll see. I think that also, what happens with Mike Norvell at Florida State? Obviously, that's something you're going to have to keep an eye on here, because if they drop another game, I think a decision is going to have to be made. They've already discussed the buyout figures and the money. They can put that together. I know it's in the high 50s here, but there are ways that it's pretty much, take a payday loan out if you want to. You can install that thing, and there's also mitigating factors to that one. I think the James Franklin situation, like we talked about kind of earlier, is interesting to me. Which school would he decide on? And it's also, how far do some of these schools have to go down the list a little bit? If you have one or two coaches that turn you down and you're on your third or fourth choice, and they'll never publicly say that, I think that's where it could get very interesting, because I've used this, kind of way to put it is, some athletic directors are going to try to, they're going to hit a double, try to sell it as a home run type of deal. John Summerall is named to me that would fit really well at LSU, in my opinion. I know Auburn is swinging for John Summerall right now. I'm curious to see what his engagement would be, knowing that there are other jobs out there. And that's the interesting part about this all too, is the leverage that you have right now. If one school picks up the phone and gives John Summerall a call, and that just might be to gauge his interest, well, you know what? He can take that phone call, or his agent can, and use that against 4 or 5 other schools that might be looking for coaches. So I think when we really break it down here and look at it, first off, there's not a lot of home run hire names out there right now, and some people are going to have to do with what they get and who their AD hires, and I think that's okay. I think that Alex Golish at USF, I think he would be a fantastic coach for even somebody like Auburn. And I'm not trying to tie those two together, but I do know that there would be interest. But again, it's just how far down the list these guys have to go with the school. And I know some folks, athletic directors, they look at the Billy Napier situation that happened in Florida, and they're like, oh man, we don't want to go the G5 route again. Well, it's like, you know what? Every coach is not going to be a strikeout. Things didn't work out for Billy Napier. That's not to say things can't work out for John Summerall or Golish. Is Brent Key, is he would he leave Georgia Tech even though he's confirmed that he wants to stay there? What's up with Eli Drinkwitz? Is Eli Drinkwitz now going to be near the top of the Penn State list? That Brian Hartline is also an Ohio State assistant. So I just think this is going to get very, very, messy is one way to put it. Over the next 3 to 4 weeks, because guys, there are not a lot of schools. I'll end with this part. There are not a lot of schools that want to sit around and wait until January to hire their football coach. Not with the transfer portal opening up, not with high school recruiting going on. I think that's why you're seeing Auburn try to make a push here. And I think, Auburn could end up with a coach that maybe is not in the playoffs. And, I think that part is what makes this whole thing kind of so dynamic.
All right. So if I was asking you about Auburn specifically, if your best guess, their next head coach, would he have already been mentioned in our conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the next head coach would already be mentioned in this conversation.
Okay.
I think that the coaches don't want to come out and admit they're having conversations with other schools, and obviously I get that part. But that doesn't mean that maybe they didn't hop on a 20-minute Zoom call to have a conversation. And it doesn't mean maybe the agent might have set that up. And I'll even go a step further. It doesn't mean the athletic director at one school didn't hop on a private plane last week and maybe make a trip a little bit north of where they were at in the Gainesville area to talk to a certain coach. So I'm just saying there's ways to get around this type of thing, and you don't want to draw attention to it and whatnot. I mean, the coaches don't and the athletic directors don't, because you all guys know this. You don't want to have something come out that you're close to a deal. And the best way to put it is the Chip Kelly nonsense with Florida, years ago. I think it was about 5 years ago now, where there were a bunch of reports that Chip Kelly had signed a contract with Florida, and it turns out it didn't happen. So just something to pay attention to.
That is Trey Wallace. You can follow his work at Outkick. You can hear him every Wednesday here on Three Man Front. Trey, always appreciate your insight, your thoughts and opinions, and look forward to catching up with you again next
I've got to
week.
know, Trey, when you were posted up in Waco working on that story, were you at Mi Casita?
Yeah, Mi Casita,
in the booth
famous
that
Mexican restaurant.
Drew sat in?
No, I wasn't there. I had to make a trip 25 miles out of town at some weird coffee shop just to have a conversation with the source. It got a little crazy, guys. I'm not going to lie.
I got it. Hey, have a great week, Trey. We'll
Thanks,
talk to you
Trey.
next Wednesday.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.
See ya. Trey joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Hour number 4 straight ahead on this Wednesday. This is Three Man Front on Jocks.